Hello, it's Big Cheds, and this is part of the daily education series on my YouTube at Cheds Trading. You can find me on Twitter at Big Cheds, and of course on Bitcoin Live, where I am a founding analyst. For today's lesson, we're going to discuss a Japanese candlestick signal, the long-legged Doji. Now, a long-legged doji is essentially a doji, which is a small real candle body with a long upper and lower shadow, with that body being roughly in the middle of the candle range. So, a long-legged doji. What's important to think about in the concept of a long-legged doji is what is the context of the price. So, for example, let's say you have an uptrend and the price is grinding higher, and you have all these series of large bodies, and at the top of the move, all of a sudden, you get the long-legged doji. Small real candle body, long upper and lower shadow, with the price advance happening first. What does that mean? Well, this is a pretty good context to think that the price is going to pivot. This is an indecision candle, just like a generic spinning top, a small body, somewhat regardless of the shadows after an advance. This long-legged doji is essentially saying that the prior trend is running out of steam, or at a minimum, it's facing a challenge, and there's a little bit of indecision going on. Now, you can look a little bit further at the doji itself for the characteristics. You can have a long-legged doji with an extremely long lower shadow, maybe a little bit longer. Now, it's roughly still a doji, long-legged doji, because the candle is near the middle, the body near the middle, with a little bit longer upper shadow. It makes it a little bit more of a bearish candle. Again, we're paying a lot of attention to shadow or wick structure in Japanese candlestick construction. So you want to pay attention to where it comes in the channel and what the wick is. Now, let's say we had sideways action into the long-legged doji. It wouldn't really necessarily mean that much to us. Again, we want to have a trend first before any candlestick. We also want to look at the volume. That's incredibly important with any Japanese candlestick signal. If we had light volume and very heavy volume on this candle, that would be a strong indication that the trend is pausing. The trend is shifting to consolidation, and if it's an uptrend coming before that, it's likely going to come back a little bit and look for support somewhere. So pay attention to the volume on the long-legged doji to let you know the strength of that candle signal. Here's the long-legged doji, and this is part of the daily education series on my YouTube channel at Cheds Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Cheds. And of course, Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. Folks, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Big Cheds out.